Peekaboo. Oh! Ugh, look at this pile of shit. Well, I don't think we really needed spider senses to know that this movie was pretty much doomed to begin with. So yeah, Sony's Spider-Man universe. Sony's attempt to replicate the Marvel Cinematic Universe by featuring all of the supporting Spider-Man characters without even featuring Peter Parker is officially dead after 6 barely successful movies. And when I say barely successful, I'm being very nice. Well, Sony's Spider-Man universe is done after Kraven the Hunter. Does it really come as a shock? Did Sony really think they could actually do a Spider-Man universe without even featuring Peter Parker? I mean, the 3 Venom movies we got, they were fun, but the rest, like Morbius, Madam Web, and Kraven, that had potential, or maybe barely had potential, they didn't even stand a chance. And I don't think COVID-19 didn't really do the franchise any favors. Neither did the SAG-AFTRA strikes. And of course, yeah, it was just poorly written, poorly executed, and a clear victim of Sony's interference. And with Kraven the Hunter, I feel bad for the actors and directors involved. I don't have anything against them, but seriously, Sony, you should have just been grateful that Marvel was willing to help you. So, now that Sony's Spider-Man universe is officially dead, now what? What does Sony do now that their second attempt to copy the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been an embarrassing failure? I mean, seriously. Not even Andrew Garfield could save Sony's Spider-Man universe if they tried to give him a surprise cameo appearance. It just wouldn't work. So, what is going to be the future of the Spider-Man franchise under Sony's control? Well, I'm not really an expert, but I got a feeling maybe there are some possibilities that Sony could do something with the future. Now, a lot of the actors involved with Sony's Spider-Man universe, like Jared Leto and Tom Hardy, have allegedly expressed interest in having their characters be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Who knows? Maybe we might see Jared Leto's Morbius appear alongside Mahershala Ali's Blade in the next Blade movie in the MCU. After all, Morbius was this close to being a surprise character in the original Blade with Wesley Snipes. Another thing that Sony might do, well, they could revive some old properties. After the surprise appearances of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield as their respective Spider-Mans from their respective franchises, who knows? Maybe Sony might revive those old projects. Before Andrew Garfield had the thankless task of having to be Spider-Man in a reboot that nobody really asked for, we were this close to getting a Spider-Man 4 directed by Sam Raimi and starring Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst. Maybe, just maybe, Sony might revive Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst returning. Who knows if maybe they might be physically able to do it, but hey, what if Sony decides we could make Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4 animated, and Raimi could be involved as a writer and producer? I mean, it could work, Spider-Man 4 being animated. I'd be very open to the idea of Spider-Man 4 starring Tobey Maguire to be animated. And of course, as I mentioned, interest in The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield has also been renewed lately. People are actually wanting Sony to revive the Amazing Spider-Man franchise and release The Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Andrew Garfield. Especially since he really did go through one hell of a redemption arc in Spider-Man No Way Home. So who knows? Maybe Sony just might revive the Amazing Spider-Man franchise and Andrew Garfield will finally get a chance to do a good Spider-Man movie after No Way Home. And of course, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Spider-Man's future is quite bright. He'll be starring in his own spin-off show known as Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, a different take on the franchise. And of course, there will be the solo fourth installment starring Tom Holland. And hey, well, we also will eventually get Beyond the Spider-Verse as soon as they're done recording everything and getting the animation done. I just have to wait. Oh wait, I don't have a watch. But yeah, another thing that Sony could do for the Spider-Man franchise, well, they could do sort of a legacy follow-up to The Spectacular Spider-Man with Josh Keaton, get Greg Weisman involved. I mean, they could do animated movies about The Spectacular Spider-Man, especially since Across the Spider-Verse has confirmed that after The Spectacular Spider-Man, that show's Gwen Stacy does get killed thanks to Green Goblin. I'm sure some of us would like to see what happened. I've also heard rumors that Seth Rogen is interested in doing an animated Venom movie. This time it would be rated R. I'd say go for that. And of course, Spider-Man Noir will be happening with Amazon, so I'm sure plenty of us who loved Nicolas Cage's performance in Into the Spider-Verse will be happy to see him return as the noir version of Spider-Man. But yeah, I mean, these are all the possibilities that could happen now that Sony's Spider-Man universe is dead. But of course, who knows? Maybe Sony might realize that Spider-Man belongs with a studio that will actually do them justice. And maybe people at Sony are just gonna give up and just give the rights to Spider-Man back to Marvel. A studio that will give him justice, and finally, the rights to Spider-Man will belong to Disney and Marvel. Could this happen? Or will Sony pretty much do everything in their power to desperately latch on to the Spider-Man franchise? I don't know. Either way, I'm kind of glad that Sony's Spider-Man universe is dead. It was dead on arrival. I mean, Venom had potential. I think my only pet peeve with the Venom franchise, and this is of course a universally agreed pet peeve, is the fact that it didn't even feature Peter Parker in the Venom films, especially since Peter Parker is an essential part of how Eddie Brock becomes Venom. I should know, I actually have this comic book, the entire symbiote arc, so it definitely feels, it's definitely an aspect I wish they could have explored in the Venom films. I mean, Venom is inferior to the 2004 Spider-Man 2 sequel and the Tom Holland Spider-Man films, but still better than Morbius. Who knows what the future will hold with the Spider-Man franchise under Sony's control. Maybe they could revive some dormant franchises, or maybe they'll give the rights to Spider-Man back to Disney and Marvel. Who knows? I guess that's for us to find out. Anyway, this might be my last video of 2024, but I am currently in the process of writing the script to Deadpool 2. Don't worry, it's happening, though it will most likely be released in the new year of 2025. And I got a lot of plans for commentary companions. Who knows? Maybe I might do some commentaries for the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, especially since I got a total soft spot for them. But anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble about the future of Sony's relationship with Spider-Man. Be sure to like and subscribe. Don't have a good day. Have a spectacular day. Oh, and happy Hanukkah.